Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Meticulous Moments show with Juanita Kapp. I am here this evening with my special guest, Mr. Gary Todd. He has been in the boxing industry for 50 years. He's a fighter, writer, mentor, and best-selling author. So without further ado, we welcome him to the stage. How are you, sir?
I'm very good, Juanita. How you going yourself?
I'm doing very well. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence today on the show.
No, it's been my pleasure. I'm really looking forward to it.
Fantastic, fantastic. Tell us a bit about your career, sir. You have been in the boxing industry for so long. You mentor, you write, you're an international best-selling author. We would love to know more.
Yeah, well, I've been in boxing most of my life. It's not just a sport for me, Juanita. It's much more than a sport. It's in my DNA. It was a tool that was given to me very young age when I was going through a really hard time as a wee boy, in pretty extreme circumstances. But when I was introduced to boxing, when I walked into the gym at 11 years of age, I was a sanctuary. It was also a place where I felt safe, and the camaraderie, and obviously ongoing passion that I've always had with the sport. I've done a lot in the sport because it's been a huge part of my life. So it's no sort of big note on yourself or anything like that, but it's been a huge part of my life. So when you've got that sort of dedication towards your sport, then everything comes. Your training, the discipline, and then obviously when you get a bit older, you go mentoring young kids in the gym, mentoring people in life, just people in life, even at work. Your discipline that goes right through into your professional career, as well as your sporting career, and also hopefully with your family and your wife and your partners. So yeah, it's been a great thing for me. I've been awfully lucky, and it's a real privilege to be involved with the sport, particularly now that I'm getting older. I've trained with over 100 world champions in the gym, which has been a great experience, but it's also been a tough experience. It's been a very hard experience because you had to be in real good shape for like 30 years. Many years. You've had to stay focused, disciplined, to actually be in there, because you want to do it properly. You want to be there, and you don't want them to, you don't want to disrespect them, be no going in there as a when you're sparring or training with these guys. So I always put my heart and soul into everything I've done. So and I've been lucky enough to interview probably over 150 world champions, including Muhammad Ali. It was a highlight, a real highlight for me, meeting him, and not just Muhammad Ali, but some of my heroes. I never had any people to look up to when I was a kid. I was us sporting people and boxers. I really looked up to them. They were really my mentors, like my inspiration. And when years later, when you actually go and interview them, you're absolutely like in awe. You're in awe, especially Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler was a big hero of mine. So when I met him, it was just amazing. Yeah.
I can imagine. Oh my goodness, what an adventure it has been. And you touched on something very important. You mentioned that there is camaraderie in the gym, and that there is mentorship. And I've been telling people for years, that was our experience, my kids and I, our experience when we went to the dojo 10 years ago. It wasn't just going to the dojo, doing karate, learning how to do different things. That became our second home, our family. We received mentorship. It changed our outlook. It became a way of life.
Yeah, well, I suppose it has to be, doesn't it? It's got to be if you're in it. You know, if you're in it, you're in it. You know, you've jumped out the plane.
All
You know what I
in.
mean? So there's no going back but there wasn't any going back for me. I was, as I said, I needed it. It's always been someplace it's actually saved me. The training side of things has saved me many times through my tough times in your life. And you know, it's and nowadays it's just about, for me, it's just about the kids now and the boxers. It's always been about the boxers. You know, I've always had a sort of a kind of love relationship sort of with the boxers. You know, I was always cared about them, and so when you're in that deep, it's part of your life. You think about it all the time. So it's just a bit strange,
You do.
Yeah.
And you learn principles, you know, that you apply. I learned principles. I actually wrote several chapters in books that I co-authored about how I learned principles and values in the dojo. And I took those and I applied it in my life, how I ran my business, how I raised my children. It was just a total transformation. And it is like you said, it's a blessing, it's a gift. And a lot of people have had the same experience and it saved them. I know it saved me. Martial arts saved me from many things. And I believe that we go out there and mentor others, not only in the dojo, but also through your books and your speaking, because we are so grateful. It's our way of paying it forward to the community.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's for me, it's giving back. It's given back. For boxing's gave me a lot of things in life, and the biggest thing it's gave me is self-discipline.
Oh, yes.
So when I was a kid, you know, you're in this. It's kind of like tough love for your trainers, but it takes you right through your life. If you've got self-discipline, you take it through your life, don't you? And nowadays, that's what I'm trying to pass on to, you know, just you're not preaching, but you're trying to pass it on to your kids. You know, but also maintaining that sort of self-discipline. You know, like it's hard. It's hard, but you have to do it. And if you do it, you're ahead in life. You're ahead because you're showing up. You're giving it a go every day, and that's the mentality. That's the mindset, and it's the mindset I've always had since I was a little boy. You know.
Yeah. Awesome. It creates that accountability. I agree with you 1000%. It's really something, and I love to talk to people about the fact that I feel they should bring boxing and kickboxing and martial arts into school as a school subject. And even if they don't want to go to black belt, or maybe they don't want to go into it professionally, those values and those morals have been taught. We're kind of setting them up for the next stage of their life. So it's just amazing.
I totally agree with you again, Juanita. I've tried that, and I've spoke to many guys that have tried it as well. But the school system, it's very political.
Yeah.
And a couple of years ago, I actually wanted to try and take the maybe underprivileged kids from the I'm not sure what you call it, but like housing commission, you know, the public housing, or the underprivileged kids that are getting into trouble. They're all lost, and I tried to come up with some sort of a program and put it forward to the prison service. So my sort of thing was to take them and to meet hardened criminals, scare the life out of them, and under sort of mentorship, be controlled. But it was too political. I was getting put, you know, go and see him, and it was never happening. So and once again, I know many guys that have tried it as well, like good people trying to do it, just with what's in their heart. But the politicians and that, and the hierarchy, it's just not going to happen.
It is.
But we never stopped trying, though. You know.
No, we never stop.
It would make a massive difference if it was in schools and you actually took some of these kids that are lost. I mean, they're no bad kids.
Yeah.
They're just lost. They're
They
just
just
lost,
need
and
guidance.
yeah, they just need guidance, but a mentorship. But if you had that, and we all do it, we all do it, and isn't that a good thing? But when you've got politicians on the other side, they don't really care. They're looking at bigger things,
Yeah.
or that sort of thing going on. But you never give up. I'll never give up on that. And maybe one day. But there's a couple of guys here in Sydney that have sort of gone into the schools and that, and hats off to them. Really good.
Fantastic.
But, it's been part of the curriculum. I'm not sure if that would ever pass in Australia anyway, which is a shame. Which is a shame.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I have some MAM members in Australia that I will connect you to as well. Maybe you can take hands with them. And then here in the States, we opened the Boom Academy. MAM is a part of that. We're doing the little bit that we can, where we give martial arts classes through Brandon Boom, one of the MAM ambassadors, to underprivileged kids. They don't have to pay, they can come in. So little by little, if all of the martial artists around the world take a hand, like yourself and the people that we work with, we are going to make a difference. We make a difference by having this conversation. We make a difference through your authorship. Tell us a bit about your books, because I see that you began writing in 1992.
I did. I've been writing about boxing. I've been covering the fights, covering the big fights all around the world, and cost you a fortune. But as I said, it's a passion. It's
worth it.
It's not even a holiday. It's you go there and it's just boxing.
Right.
But I love it. But I started writing for the boxing magazines, and then the internet came along, and then I was writing for many different boxing websites around the world, particularly in UK and America. And then some of them fall over, some of them don't last the distance, and then you go to another one, and then you go to another one. I was on the voting ballot for the International Boxing Hall of Fame.
Oh, fantastic!
And, I was on there, and I resigned because there was too much politics. I'm not a guy good with politics and things like that. So, but the passion for me has always been there. But I can't stand the politics, and I only care about the boxers, the fight game, the fighters. Like the actual fights, good fights for the people, and that's what matters to me. But my books, I write currently. I write for FightNews.com. And that's a respected boxing website, and the guy, the editor, is a good guy. So it's a real pleasure writing for them. But going back to my books, I wrote the books. My books were unique to the world of boxing and the world of combat sports, because it had never been done before. I was going to all these gyms, meeting the world champions, training with them, and I was getting their actual workout. So. That had never been done before, and it was very difficult doing it, because, as you said, you had to train, you had to get their respect when you worked in the gym, and that wasn't easy. And it got me in some sticky situations going into these gyms in the hoods or the projects, and pretty hair raising stuff on occasion. But I was well worth it. And then they became international best-selling books around the world, and they've been translated into Russian, Japanese, and Japanese as well. So I was very happy about that. And then in 2011, my mum died, and I decided to write our story, which was myself and my mum's story, living in extreme circumstances in a town called Dundee. I was from a place called Dundee in Scotland, and I actually testified against my dad in court when I was 10 years of age, because he was I was in real fear and torture for years, and I'd done enough to get him away from us. And there's Annie's Boy's the name of the book, and it was a bestseller. And I actually wrote the screenplay, and I've recorded the audiobook as well.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
that was a big challenge because when you're recording an audio book for Annie's Boy, you've got to do a bit of acting.
Yeah.
That's like you're doing a bit
Yes,
of acting because
yes.
you've got to put your heart and soul into it, but you've also got to. It's like you're acting when
Yeah.
you're trying to get the words across in
Yeah.
an audio
That
format.
emotion.
That was a big challenge, but I thought I was really proud of that. And but my latest book, um, Greatest Ever Boxing Champions,
Mm.
there and it's about their mindset.
Yeah.
It's how their workout in the gym. So all these famous boxers, big names, and it was their workouts in the gym again. So it was like a volume 3,
Oh, good.
but it's definitely my best book, boxing book that I've written in the 20 odd years or whatever it is, and I'm very proud of it. The quality is very good, and I like to think my writing's good, my stories are
Mhm.
good. So that's it. But the writing's only one side of the
Mhm.
things, like it's I wouldn't say it's a small part, but it's the boxing writing for the magazines and getting the stories out, keeping it alive. That's a big thing for me. But the books is pretty much on a personal level. The books is for
Yeah.
it's a personal thing, a personal achievement, and
Amen
I'm
to
very
that.
very proud of them. But
Yeah.
Annie's Boy's so personal.
Wow.
And to me, it's emotional, funny, quite brutal, but
Yeah.
it's actually a love story. And I
Yeah.
never ever thought I could write a love story, but it's a
Yeah.
love story, a violent love story about
Mm.
me and my mum. You
Yeah.
know,
Courage,
so
survival. Yeah.
it's a very on extreme circumstances, and it's a story about hope. It's a story about you never let things get you down for
Mm-mm.
that long. You've always got one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
You got to keep on going. If you live with that mindset, you get through anything.
That's
You know?
right. That's right. You're a true testimony of self discipline and courage and, inspiring people and taking what you went through to educate the masses and to bring, them bring it to their attention about what happens behind the scenes. And I would love for you, let's not forget, sir, when we are finished with this interview, please put your links in the comments so people can get copies of your books and your magazines. I wanted to ask you something. You
Yeah.
mentioned hairy situations when you went into certain places. Is there one that stood out that you want to share with the audience?
Well, I could share this with you. I was in Los Angeles, and I'd been going to this gym, and the taxi guy said to me, "Do you want me to wait?" And I says, "No, I'm going to pray, and I'll be gone for like 2 hours."
Yeah.
And he says, "Are you sure? Are you sure? Because it's a pretty dangerous
Yeah.
area. It's a dangerous neighbourhood." And I
Yeah.
says, "I can be okay. I'll be fine. Maybe in me, I thought it was bulletproof." And I says, "Nah, I'll be fine. I'll be fine." And I went and done my training. I actually got a couple of interviews for my book, and then I came out the gym, and I had my training gear. I always train with a beanie on. I always wear a wheelie hat on, and
Yeah.
I always sort of wrap up in it. And I had my gym bag with my skipping rope, boxing gloves, an empty bottle of water. And I came out and I was walking up the road to try and find the nearest busy street so I can flag a taxi.
Yeah.
And I got surrounded by 11
Oh, snap.
guys from the hood, and they surrounded us. And as the leader was talking to me, this guy came behind and put the gun at the back of my head. I could still feel the
Oh, my.
metal on the back of my head, and he was very enthusiastic to blow my head off.
Huh.
And I'll not say the words that he said, but he was, he's pretty aggressive,
Right.
and all he wanted to do was kill me. And the leader, he was he was sort of on board,
Yeah.
and then he asked me, he says, "What's in the bag?" He thought I was selling drugs in
Oh,
their area, and I says, "I'm not selling drugs. I just finished training. Look at my beanie. Look at I'm not sweating and everything." I says, look inside my gym. You'll find a pair of boxing gloves,
yeah.
skipping rope, etc." And I said, "I'm not selling drugs." I said, I've just been in that gym there." I said, so the funny thing about it is as well, Juanita, because I'd went through so much, we'll say, if you want to call it trauma, when I
Yes.
was a kid, you've got different levels of fear. So when I was surrounded with these guys, I put myself back in time to what was real fear, which was my father. When you've got your father looking at you and trying to hurt you, that's real fear.
Yeah.
So I can always remember I didn't panic when these guys were surrounded. I never panicked. I stood there and I thought any minute now he's going to pull the trigger. But I wasn't. It seems really strange, but I wasn't scared. I was just sort of calm, and I thought, this is it. But I managed to talk my way out. And when the guy opened the bag, he saw the training gear. He basically just says, "You shouldn't be in this area. Off you go up there, and leave now." And I just walked up the road. But that was after I thought, geez, that was a bit close.
That was very close.
That was a memorable occasion. But I survived. We are survived.
You did.
So we got to keep going.
You're a survivor. You're a survivor. There's not much that will get you down. Nothing will get you down because your mindset is right. And you know what you're capable of. And you know the battles that you faced and how it changed you and how it built your character. And you stand on that. And I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of you for going through that process and for sharing that with people, because some people go through a lot of things behind the scenes, but they haven't found that courage yet. And I believe it's possible if they look at interviews like this or read your book, Annie's Boy, or hear a story, they can think, well, look what Gary survived and look what he's doing in the world. It's inspirational for people. It gives people, you mentioned this word, it gives people that hope. Hope is very important.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got to kind of have that mindset. I mean, it's very hard. Everybody's different, But, and everybody processes things differently. But if you do, me and my mum, we always had that sort of mindset. My mum was like she was only like 5 feet tall, but she was a very strong minded woman. And I think I took the traits off of her, but we always got through things together. There was only me and mum really, so we always battled on. And I see it from other people, through the years you see that. And my wife's the same. My wife's a real strong woman. And I've met another woman that she's no longer with us, but she was very strong as well. And the two of them remind me of my mum.
Yeah.
So I've been lucky. I'm lucky that I'm married to the woman I'm married to, Jenny, and but I'm awfully lucky because I'm awfully proud of her as well. Because I'm proud of her because we're immigrants here in a strange country.
That's right.
No support. You've not got the support, and you just got to give it everything. And we've done. The both of us have done that. So.
That's right. That energy, that strong character, that is your strong point as a family. And that's the legacy from your mom that's being continued. Yeah. And it speaks to people. It speaks to people because your legacy will live on. People will remember that. So you're very, very blessed. Tell us about how your family came together. How did you meet her? Where did you meet her? When did you immigrate?
I immigrated myself. I immigrated here in Sydney. I arrived in Sydney in 1987.
Oh.
So January 1987. I was so lost. That was a strange place to be. And I came from a rough and tough industrial town in Scotland. And when I got here, it was I'd never seen a kangaroo. I never seen koala bears. I thought there was going to be kangaroos jumping about the place. And that was crazy. It was mayhem. There was a lot of criminal activity. underworld activity where I lived, and I lived in a good area, like kind of beachy suburb called Coogee, and it was I was pretty rough, but it was a different kind of rough. Like in Scotland, it was all like people throwing glasses or slashing you
Air
with
bottles.
or bottles or
Knives.
knives. But here it was guns.
Mm.
There was people getting shot.
Oh,
I'd never seen that before, so
right.
it was a crazy sort of time. But
Yeah.
I was so lost here, and I really did miss my mum. I was only 21, and I really missed my mum, and I missed the rest of my family in Scotland. And the thing that actually saved me was the training again. So I got stuck into the training. There was a big alcohol influence here. Like you couldn't go any place. The Australian culture at the time. The America's Cup was on. I think they just won the America's Cup. There was plenty. That was a land of plenty, for a lot of people, and there was loads of work, but there was a lot of money going around as well, as in people earning good money, and it was really a prosperous time if you were in Australia. So I tagged on the end up. But I was working 16 hours a day, and then going training. But the boxers that were around at the time you had Jeff Fennick, Lester Ellis was just at the end of his career, Jeff Harden, which was the two-time light heavyweight champion of the world. All these gyms were all really hungry fighters because there were aspirations to be like Jeff Harden or Lester Ellis or even Fennick. So the gyms were really buzzing with sparring and training, and I tagged on the end of that, and it was really good place to train. But when you left the gym, you were like, oh, I miss my mum, I miss my family, So it was really hard. It took me like 5 years to.
Difficult to adjust. Yeah.
I couldn't adjust. It was hard to adjust with even the sense of humour. The sense of humour was different.
Yeah.
Just small things. The TV was different. I just had like daft things, stupid things.
Yeah, the food.
But I ended up getting a job on the oil rigs.
Good.
And that was kind of saved me. I was on there for 5 years.
Yeah.
And the money was good, but I was working 17 hours a day. I'd got a job as a supervisor, and I was just working, training. I was doing my road work, and I was sleeping. That was my day for five. That was the whole day for 5 years. And the boxing was. I was still doing the boxing, but it was. I was working a lot. And I was sleeping. I was only sleeping maybe 4 or 5 hours a day, and then I just got used to it. And then I sort of prioritised. As I said, I was very disciplined. And then every now and again, I'd save up a few bob and go to America for the fights and whatever. And then when I was near the end of the oil rigs, I went back to Scotland for a holiday to see my mum.
Yeah.
And I went back for a holiday. I never forget it. I got a bit of steel in my eye.
Oh.
And I had to go back, and I went to the doctor and I had to put a kind of an operation sort of thing. And I had to go back with an eye patch on my eye. So I'd not seen my mum for 40 years. And I went back with an eye patch on. She said, you look like Jolly Roger, or you look like some pirate. I had hair as well. I had hair on the face. But then I went back. Went back in the oil rigs. I went back again, and I met my wife Jenny. I met her in a pub, funny enough.
Awesome.
And, she wasn't that keen on us. She thought it was. She says, "Do you want to go for a drink somewhere else?" And I says, "Well, I've got to get back and see my mum. She's made fish and chips for us."
Nice.
So she thought I was a mummy's boy. But anyway, I was kind of like love at first sight.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. That's the way it sounds a bit corny and all that, but that's the way it happened. And then we came back to Australia, and we've never looked back.
Oh my gosh, that is, and look how incredible that worked. how everything came together, that you met someone that is just as strong in character as your mom was,
Yeah,
strong in character like you are, someone that's your best friend, someone that just goes through or over the obstacles that life presents.
yeah.
I don't think that is coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence. That is what it was meant to be, and
I
it's a
think so.
blessing.
Yeah, my wife's always saying that. So what's for you, I'll not go by you. You know, like
Yeah,
it's I was meant to be, and as I said, it's tough going. It was very tough going for my wife. I think it
yeah,
was actually tougher going because I just went to work every day. You know,
yeah,
my wife had to deal with the kids. You know, the
yeah. It's a
being the
lot of
chauffeur,
work.
the Uber driver for my kids, being at every event. You
Yeah,
know, whereas I had to earn the money. So
yeah.
that's where we are. But we got through it. Yeah,
You
and.
did.
And we raised good kids, and my daughter Hannah, she represented Australia
Oh,
twice. Yeah, so she's took the sporty side of things. Not so much these days, but and she was very hard trainer. She was very disciplined as well. So I was really proud of her. She done
very
well. She
good.
got a, she got a silver medal in the World Championships
That is
for
fantastic.
uh, the
In her
beach
DNA.
handball.
Yeah.
Very proud of her. So.
Kids are just, they are gifts. I have two children, and they are the biggest gift I could ever receive in the world, and it gives us great joy to see them happy and to see them succeed. That is what we're here to help them with. So I'm very happy to hear about your wife always supporting them, being there for them while you had to support your family. And also, you were training them and you were mentoring them. And I'm sure they are very grateful today for that.
Yeah, well, it's as I said, it's difficult, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
you've got to try and keep a fine line between preaching and mental. You know,
Yes.
you slip little bits in here and there, and you hope they'll listen. Sometimes they don't, but you've just got to keep trying, eh? Keep trying. But I think I touched on it before. There's a lot of lost kids in the world. You
Oh,
know,
true.
that's I really it worries me. It's with
Yeah.
this social media,
Mm-hmm.
the other expectations, what they see on the TV, you
Yeah.
know, what they want in life. You know, they think that, and some of them, no, some kids actually think it's easy. It's going to be easy,
Yeah.
and when they find out it's not easy, then
Mm-hmm.
they crumble. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got
They're
all
under that
the
pressure.
social media, the bullying online.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a big problem, and once again, the like governments they don't really address it. You know,
No.
not really. It's disgusting, and that's another thing that should be in the curriculum at schools about
Yes.
the bullying. You know,
Yes.
I've seen it too many times. The bullying just gets swept under the carpet, and
Mm-hmm.
they blame it on the parents. Just if they've got a problem, go and see the parents. Like, but
That's
yeah,
right.
that never works. That never works either. So
That's right.
it concerns me about the next generation. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it really does. So
That will happen.
that's my plan moving forward as I get older is
Mm.
to get right in there with the kids in the gyms, um, and just to get even just give them a cuddle. Like
Yes.
give them a cuddle, uh, give them a bit of tough love, get them training, get
That's
them
right.
get their mind, but also tell them a few horror stories about me,
Yes.
and to make them realise that life is very tough.
It is.
You've just got to keep grinding. You've got to keep showing up. You've got
Yeah.
to keep doing what you do. Like every day, and things get better. Then
That's
if you
true.
don't do that, nothing happens.
That's
And
true.
but it's a yeah, as I said, it's a fine line, but you've just got to
It
keep
is. It
got
is.
to keep trying.
But you know how to walk in that path. You've honed that skill. And focus and discipline are two words that you use that are very, very important. Because
Yeah,
if they just focus on the things that they can control, and they give the rest to God, the things that they can't control. They just do their best. They stay disciplined. Their situation will change for the better. At some
Yeah.
point, there will be a breakthrough.
That's what the goal is anyway. But
Yes.
if we go back to the boxing, the whatever, it's another thing about it. It's for me. It's you go back to the core values of boxing.
That's
You know,
right.
it's the same when you're in the dojo, but the core values of boxing. That's what I always grasp onto. You know, there's some things I don't agree with in the sport of boxing. You know, at a high level.
Yeah.
But when I get a wee bit disillusioned, I always go back to the core values,
Yes.
the pure boxing. You know what it stands for, what it is, and it always comes back to the kids. It always comes back to the kids in the gyms, and also it comes back to the men and women that are working tirelessly, hard working people behind the scenes, away in the shadows and away from the bright lights, opening the gyms, opening the doors to the gyms every day and every night, just so that their kids have got someplace to go, and also they've got their own dreams, and
Yes.
that's like the core value of boxing. That's what it gave me. So
That's
I
true.
want to bring that around. You know, it's a haven, it's a sanctuary, it's a safe
Safe
working, you
place.
know, safe place to be there. But
That's right.
it's not, we wouldn't even call it work, but it's a safe place to be.
Yeah.
And I always use that for my own sort of focus, and also sometimes even clarity. You know, the clarity about life. You know, where are we going? What's happening? You know.
Yeah.
So it's as I say, it's awfully important to me. So that's the goal moving forward.
True, very true what you're saying. I once flew to St. Louis. I flew from South Africa to St. Louis to a public speaking event, and there were a lot of entrepreneurs and business individuals there, business owners, all seven-figure earners. And my speech was this: get back to the basics, because everything gets so big and everything gets so flashy. And if you want to scale and if you want to make greater impact, it's very simple. You get back to the basics. You go look at those foundational bricks that you built your business with. And it really works. And I used the example. I said, when I was a pastor in the ministry for 15 years, it didn't matter if I had a small event or if I had a very big event. Some of the things that are on the list stayed the same. Those are the basics. And we always have to give attention to that. And then I learned that in the dojo as well, even with karate and the martial arts. The basics, the basics, the basics is very true what you're saying, because sometimes people, they try to get to a certain goal, they don't get there immediately, and then they're not sure what went wrong in between. They need to start with the basics and then just adapt or pivot a little bit, and they'll reach their goal. That's very, very important what you mentioned.
Yeah, no, thank you. I totally agree with you, Juanita. It's all the fundamentals. It's the
Yeah.
same. If you learn the fundamentals and everything, and then you just put your own little spin on it. You know, I think that's a winning formula.
Absolutely.
I've done that right through my professional career. You know, like I always used to learn for the worst, but I learned for the best as well.
Yeah.
And I always took snippets of both supervisors. You know, when I was a supervisor, I always thought, I'm not going to be like him, but I'm going to remember the bad things about his bad management skills. And then I also done that with the good guys. And I thought, I'm not going to be like them, but I'm going to take the good bits for him. I'll have the good bits for them. And you combine that, and you always remember sometimes you remember the bad things more than you do the good things.
That's
when
true.
you're a manager.
Yeah.
So I've always tried to do that, and you know, treat people as people. You know,
With
treat people as
dignity.
people. You know, everybody's there for the same reason. You know, we're there to get some money. We're there to do a good job, and provide for your family. But you're there as well for your own self.
That's right.
Aren't you?
That's true.
That's been me in my professional career. So
we call that eating the fish and spitting out the bones, where I come from.
That's a
Eating
good
the fish
analogy.
and spitting out the bones.
That's a
Keep
great
what
analogy.
speaks to you and just discard of the rest.
It's good. I love that. That's really good.
Now, staying disciplined is not easy. You mentioned that, and we know this. What did you do in your career when there were times where the obstacles looked a little bit bigger than you thought they would be? You know, how did you stay encouraged? How did you stay motivated? If there's someone in the audience today and maybe they're going through something like that, what would you tell them? What did you do? What worked for you?
Well, for me, it was, as I said, if I was a young boy, I'd always had that sort of mindset.
Yeah.
You,
Resilience.
the mindset was you're a long time in the ground.
Yeah.
So when you've got that mindset and you've got to just keep, when you go through really tough times, you've just got to keep going. It's difficult. It sounds sort of blasé, but it's no blasé. It's the thing that you've got to do. There's no other choice. For me, there wasn't any other choice. And you've got to try and, if you're going through a hard time, you've got to just think of the alternative. What's the alternative? You've got to live. You've got to live your life, and you've got to just live it the best you can. And there might be things in the background, you know, a lot of noise in the background. There might be a lot of maybe heartache for people in the background, but you've got to. There's no any other way. You've got to keep moving forward. You've got to move forward and get out of your bed every morning. Try your best. You know, try and be a good person. You know, like it's difficult to. It's a sort of varied, sort of a wide variety of things that can go wrong in your life. And,
yes.
and a lot of people, happen to me. But the main thing is you've got to live with the mindset. You've got to get up and say, what's the alternative?
Yeah.
You know, don't worry about what anybody else is doing. You just worry about what you're doing on your path. You know, the road. You're on the road. You're going to meet loads of people on that road. Some people will join you. Some people will leave you. Some people will hurt you. Some people make you happy. But when it's all said and done, you're on that road, and you're on that road pretty much on your own. And sometimes as well, I walk the road with a stone in my shoe, you know, for years.
That's right.
But sometimes you just got to get used to the stone.
Yeah.
You know, and just keep moving forward. That's how I've done in my life, and I'm actually doing it now. I do it every day. Like, some things don't always work out for you.
That's true.
But it just happens. But you keep trying, and eventually things turn around. And that's probably the only advice I give. But the alternatives, there's no an alternative.
Yeah.
Because you just keep telling yourself, you've only got so many years on earth, and who knows what happens after that. And you just got to make the best of it.
True.
You know?
True. And obstacles.
Not stress so much.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. People need to, just be in a calm state of mind. Because when there's panic, it's never good. We need to not react to things. You know, we need to look at a situation, take a step back, look at the situation for what it is. And I've learned in difficult situations, I've learned a lot about myself and the situation and other people. And I take those lessons and I put them in my arsenal. And next time when something comes around the bend, I kind of know how to, see it for what it is and how to react in a good manner, with dignity. I always treat people with dignity. Yeah. Doesn't matter what the situation, because, it shapes us too.
I've got this sort of, I'm not sure how to explain it, but I've sort of put problems in boxes. Sounds a bit daft, but if you've got a problem, you put it in a box and you try and set, and then you open the box and you deal with that problem.
Yeah.
Then you go in another box, you deal with that, and that's what I've done in my life. You know, if you had all these things and they weren't in separate boxes, you would pile up, and it would just be a big pile.
Yeah.
So I've tried to put things in the boxes and try and deal with them process them, and act on it
Very
to make
good.
it much easier. And it's always helped me. But that's just the way I deal with things. But as I said, everybody's different. Be the way
I
they
think that's a
deal with it.
great strategy. I think that's great because what I was picturing in my mind when you were talking about the boxes is a lot of the times people have a problem in this area and there's another area that's going well at the same time. But because they are so bothered by this box, they sometimes let it spill over into the
Yeah,
good area and it
like
ruins everything.
yeah,
You've
yeah.
got a
No,
good strategy.
yeah. Well, it's
Keep
that's
it
just
separate.
it's been like I said to my wife, it's like a defense mechanism
Yes.
for me. It's an inner thing that I've had since I was a young kid. So I've always had to do that because I had so many bad things happening when I was young. Um, and there's also tools as well that I've used all my life in the last sort of say 15 years. But I do think a thing what's called as I call it floating. So
Hmm.
I it's a sort of meditation, but
Good.
I'm not into yoga or anything like that. But
Yeah.
but I go in a quiet room, a dark room, and I close my eyes and I focus and I think about. I don't think about anything else, but I focus and it's dark. And it's
Mm.
like you're going. It sounds. You'll think I'm nuts here, but it's like I'm going into space. Dark.
Right.
It's just a dark in my mind.
Yes.
And in the distance, there's a door,
Mm.
and I go towards the door, and I open the door. This is on my mind. I
Yes.
open the door, and as soon as I go through the door, it gives me a good sense of peace.
Good.
And I stay there, as I said, I call it floating. It's probably more difficult to to do than it is actually me telling you. But if you practice,
Takes
you get sort of good at
practice.
it, and
Right.
it does help you. When you sort of come out of that state, you feel really good. And
Mm.
the other things I do, so maybe that'll help people if they've got any stress or anything like that. But other things that's always helped me is breathing. I've always done this
Mm.
breathing exercises.
Yeah.
So I think they call it mindful breathing. I do
Mm.
that a lot, just especially after training. I do the mindful breathing, and the other thing I love doing as well is I love underwater swimming. So I do a lot of underwater swimming, and when you're doing the underwater swimming, you think of nothing else. All you're
Mm.
thinking about is breathing. So if you've got any issues or worries or dramas, that helps me. And then I finish off and I go in the steam room. So I go
Mm.
in the steam room and then I do my underwater swimming and then back in the steam room. It's in my book. It's in my latest book.
Good. We should
But
put those links.
and then last but not least, not everybody can do it, but me and my wife love to do the ocean swimming. So we go out into
Oh, snorkeling and
the ocean.
scuba.
It's for me. It's a magical connection, like, and
That's
it's a thing that me and my wife can do together. So we always feel really good after it. And even in the winter, when the winter here, it's not really winter, but you go in there and it's freezing. It's freezing, but you
right.
kind of glow. You glow when you come out. So
That's right.
it's really it's a big part of our life. Especially moving forward when you're getting older, and it's good for the bones. It's good for
That's right.
the cold water. It's good for the body and the salt water as well. So all
Yeah.
these things will help me. It's, as I said, you maybe know even just in the swimming pool. Swimming pool is good as well.
Yeah. Right.
But all these things have helped me through my life as well as the
A
training. So,
reset. Yeah,
but
it's
as
a
I said, everybody's
reset.
different.
Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, very important what you do, that exercise, the mental exercise about the black room and going through that door.
Yeah.
I mean, that is just resetting you. It's disrupting any negative energy. It's regaining that focus. I agree with. I think that is a wonderful practice for people to go and try out. I really hope they go and apologies. I really hope they go and purchase your books. so that they can learn these techniques. Please don't forget to put those links in the comments so that they can also have a go-to and read it and experience it and communicate back what it meant to them. Very important to reset our nervous system as well. There's some videos out there, guys. You have to remember to reset your nervous system. Sometimes we get into a place where we are in fight or flight mode all the time, especially when it's that negative spiral. And the practices that Gary mentioned, those are all wonderful. Going scuba diving or doing the breathing exercises or the mental exercise, that is just phenomenal. Thank you so much for being on the show, Gary. I would love for you to give the audience some final words of wisdom. It's been such an honor to host you. We've learned so much. Thank you.
No, thank you very much, Marina. Marina, I'd just like to say as well, it's been a real pleasure. And I know you do a lot for the combat sports around the world. So thank you for that. And everything helps, and if it helps just one person. So anything that I've said today, if it helps anybody, it's a great thing. So,
Amen.
but yeah, you just got to keep going, keep on punching. Keep on punching on your life, and that's the only way to go. There's no alternative. You just keep going.
That's right. Keep going, guys. And I'm sure Gary and I will be back for a next session. There's so much ground to cover. We will definitely have to talk more. And please send my regards to your wonderful family and thank them for letting you be on this show. I know it's family time there. And have a great rest of your day. I believe, what time is it now in Australia, Gary?
I think it's about 1 p.m.
But it's Friday already, right?
It's Friday, yeah. Friday.
So, guys, it's Friday for Gary, afternoonish, 1 p.m. And here in Texas, it's in the evening, or I would say almost like 8 o'clock. So it's amazing how technology makes these things possible. Thank you so much for your time, for your guidance. God bless you in everything you do. Us.
Also, thank you.
Bye-bye. There you have it, guys. Thank you for joining us for the show today. What a wonderful interview. Make sure you check the comments for the links of the books. Make sure you reach out and get your copy. And remember what Gary said, keep punching, keep going, never give up. You can do it. You can face any obstacle and you can either go through it, around it, or over it. Doesn't matter. The fact is, you should never, ever lose hope like we've talked about. So please make sure that you get this reading matter, or that you share the content so that someone else that might need it today can get a hold of it and their lives can be edified as well. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I'll see you guys in the next show. And of course, shout out to my baby, Kevin Oliver. Thank you so much, Anya. Have a great evening as well. And make sure you visit these pages, stoppinggunviolence.com and stoppingfentanyl.com. Ma'am is going to be back tomorrow evening with another special guest, Grandmaster G.J. Torres. So make sure you tune in for that one. And remember, check the comments for these wonderful books that Gary has written. God bless everyone. Keep shining. Until next time. Bye-bye.